Well, Mr. Brando. Got you, didn't I? Well, at least today you're going to walk in your office on a positive note and you're going to have a great day. All the jokes are over. We can continue.
Are they, Joe?
So I hope you have a great day, brother. And we'll see you soon. Beth, I hope you're feeling well. We'll see you soon too, sister. Have a great day. Happy Easter, Guru Brando!
Hello, welcome to Positively Entertaining Conversations. Many of y'all are super interested in Joe's and my developing bromance. So we are still together despite his terrible April Fool's Day prank that I only found hilarious after I medicated and meditated. Now, we're moving forward with our relationship into a new phase, and he is going to be a regular on the show. So, Regular Joe. We are going to share our stories with the world. We're going to share our friendship with the world, and I'm sure that you will love it and find it positively entertaining. I want to invade your space as a positive energy, a student of nature, a holistic guru, a developer of time, a self-made man, a gestational father, a queer husband, business owner, professional life coach, so much more. But above all, a fellow human being that's just trying to live a happier, more balanced life. I'll have sometimes curious guests on the podcast episode for a little chit-chat, little life coaching, and then we'll talk to Regular Joe after he watches it and see if he knows anything. We're going to ask him some questions and see if he knows what it's about and see if he can apply any of it or if he has any knowledge of his own to add to it. By experience or wisdom alone, we shall see if Joe can remember. Now, what happens when a hippie trans man and a gaming rocket man meet and have a podcast? Yeah. Welcome to that journey, and you have just become a part of it. So the days of our life saga Cornfield Edition continue with upcoming Season 3, an all-new format with Regular Joe and live podcast during the summer. So you've got to join us for that. I'll hand Joe a GoPro. We'll see how that works. So let's start the show.
Good evening, fellow viewers. The discussions are real. The laughter's for healing. Open that box of chocolates. Grab an ice cream cone. It is time to sit back and enjoy the positively entertaining fun with our shrimp boat captain, our evening host, the bearded charmer, one, the only, the Guru Brando Show.
And now join me, Guru Brando, in conversations with my children about our last podcast guests. Hello, you're watching Positively Entertaining Conversations with me, Guru Brando, and Oliver. And Oliver wants to do a little podcast about this goat he just met named Jackson. So tell me about this goat named Jackson that you just met.
He was wearing like baby clothes.
Yeah, and what else?
And a diaper.
And a diaper. And he came with my other podcast guest, and the podcast guest also had a daughter. Do you remember what her name was? Kylie?
Oh, yeah, Kylie.
And she's the one that made me this. And we said this unicorn's name is Princess Bella. That's a good name, right?
Yeah.
Hey, so today I had a sticker on my head right here. Did you see it?
Yeah.
It's not there now. I took it off. And this is what was under it. This is the sore that I was covering. So did you see what was on the sticker? It was an eyeball.
Yeah.
Mom drew that for me. That was nice of her, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I wore it during the podcast. So people didn't see how I rubbed my skin off doing this all day. What do you do that whenever you get nervous or when you get stressed out? Because I do this. I put my head like this and I sit here and I rub like this. What do you do?
Like if I have dad or something?
No, if you're stressed out, if you're worried or if you're upset or if you're bored, what do? It's your stems because you're Stimson, remember?
I usually do this.
Yeah, you do that. So you like to touch things, right?
Yeah.
What else do you touch besides that? What do you like to mess with? He likes to mess with my nerves.
I don't know.
You like to rub your hand on soft stuff, don't you? Like the carpet, like this carpet that I have down here. Yeah,
Right there.
yeah. You like to do that, huh? And your favorite thing in the whole wide world used to be to watch your cars roll. Do you still do that?
No, not
No.
really.
But you used to. You like to swing, too. You like movement.
Y'all
don't
need
you?
to be watching him right now.
Yeah, and also I got a new color in my hair.
Yeah, what color is it?
Purple.
And Jackson's friend,
Friend or family, Oliver decide.
Jackson's friend, Jackson the goat.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that would be her sister. Would Kylie be the goat's sister or a friend?
I think it would be a friend.
Friend, yeah. Okay, so Jackson's friend Kylie had purple in her hair also, and we didn't know that, did we? So y'all are just super cool because you have purple hair. I used to have purple hair. Did you know that?
No.
Hey, did you know that I used to live as a girl?
Mhm.
Do you remember that? You do? What do you remember me about being your mom and not your dad? The unicorn got you. Princess Bella got you. What do you remember about that? It's okay if you don't remember anything.
I don't know.
You don't remember? Do you think that I would look strange as a girl now? Did you know that there were people when I was a girl that thought that I would look strange as a boy? Did you know that? They saw me and they said, you would look really, really weird as a guy with a beard. And look at me now. I definitely look weird, don't I?
No.
No. Well, that's good. That's good. Joe looks weird, doesn't he? You have to say yes. Say yes. Joe looks
Yes.
weird. Yes, Joe looks weird. You look weird too.
I was about to say no.
I know you were because you're nice. Joe's a nice guy. And so is his sister. His sister, do you remember what her name was? Kristen.
Oh, Kristen?
And what did I tell you the little girl's name was?
Kylie?
Kylie. So now you know them. And what was this unicorn's name?
Princess Bella.
Princess Bella. That's right. And did you know there's some people that are just listening to this podcast and not watching? So how can we describe this unicorn that Kylie painted for me? How do you describe it?
On the top it has like purple, and then for the rest of the body mostly it's just turquoise, and then the face they use black paint.
Yeah. And it's a very unique looking unicorn, right?
Mhm.
Princess Bella. So what happens when things are very unique? You have hand sanitizer. And we messed with the goat, so that's nice. What happens sometimes when you're unique? Thank you, Oliver. Do people sometimes point out your unique things? Maybe sometimes they make fun of it? Like, say, if your nose was uniquely large, if you had a very large, unique nose, do you think people might make fun of your big nose?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that people would make fun of this unicorn and say, why are you two different colors? Because did you know that there's some people who have skin that might be dark and then they have white patches on them?
White patches?
Yeah, Michael Jackson had that skin disease. And so what he did is he had dark skin, but then he had light patches on him. Several people have that.
That's why his skin is so white.
So look, so what if this unicorn was out with all the other unicorns and they made fun of him because he had two different colors on him? There's people that make fun of other people for having different colored skin. Did you know that?
No.
You didn't know that? There are. They're not very nice people, but sometimes they would. Do you think that this unicorn would get bullied?
No.
I don't either. I think he'd go "Arr," and stab him. You would never do that, right? If you were a unicorn?
No.
No, because you're a nice
This
guy.
is a huge horn.
Bullying's not very nice, is it?
No.
No. Have you been bullied?
Mhm.
what kind of bullying have you had?
I think it was like a name call or so. I think.
A name call? So what names were you called?
I don't remember.
So, well, the reason you don't remember is because it's okay. You understand that some people are just mean and that's their problem. Right?
Yep.
And so does it mean that if they call you ugly that you're ugly? No. What does it mean?
It means like unhappy with their own lives.
Yeah, that they're unhappy with their own lives and so they look at you and judge you, right?
Mhm.
And that's okay because they can do that if they want to. It doesn't mean you're going to listen, huh? Because you know you're smart, and you know you're cute, and you know you're honest, right?
Yeah.
And you know your hair's purple. Right?
Yeah.
Do people make fun of you for having a trans mom and a trans dad?
No.
No. People are pretty nice here, huh? You're just staring at yourself in the camera. You're a ham. Hey, did you know we share the same birthday? What's our birthday?
September 16th.
How old are we?
I'm turning 10 and you're turning 45.
Yeah, how do you know all that?
Because
When was I born?
1976,
When were you born?
2011,
When was Grandpa born?
1942,
What year was it when Grandpa was 12?
1954.
How do you know that?
Because I've been counting.
Oh, do you count a lot of things?
Uh-huh.
When was the first Nintendo made?
1983,
When was the Super Nintendo made?
1990,
When was the first TV? Oh, you don't know that one.
I think it would be like around the 1950s.
Well, we'll have to look that up.
Because 40s, they only had huge radios.
Okay, well, we'll have to look that up. So what other dates do you know? How old is Mom?
I'm 44, even though she's turning 45. Yeah.
Because you're making too much noise. All right, so she's turning 45. When's her birthday?
August 18th, I think.
Oh
No.
my gosh, you don't know her birthday?
21st,
August 21st, what year?
1976.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, let's see. What year did we move here?
I think it would be like 20. Wait, hold on. 2017.
2017. Do you remember what day? December 26th is when we started here. And then we bought the house December 29th, 2017.
Yeah, I think we stopped by someone's like trailer house. And her name was Margaret or something.
Yeah,
like
that was still in Texas. Yep, we went to see her. So, what's the very first thing you remember when you got here? You saw the house for the very first time.
Yeah, and it smelled just like our grandma's house.
It did, because it's super old. Do you remember when this house was built?
1860.
How old is it?
160.
160? Does that make sense? What did you just say? You're staring at yourself. Let's see. It was built in 1860.
Yeah, so
And what
that
is
was
this
like,
year?
It's 2021.
So if it was built in 1860 and
Not-
this is 2021.
Wait, 161.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it 161 years from 1860 to 2021?
Or 160.
Can you count, bro? Can you even count, bro?
I don't know how old this house is.
If
I
I
only
throw
know-
down a box of toothpicks, can you tell me how many toothpicks are in it? Are you like Rain Man?
I'm gonna go like 364.
Why 364?
I don't know.
Because how many days is that? How many days is 364?
Till December 28th. Wait, does
Today
December
is,
have
hey,
tw- wait,
hey,
30th.
hey.
That'll be December 30th.
Today is March something. Today is March the 29th. So if today's March the 29th, how many days until January 1st, 2022?
365. Wait,
Is it really?
Four.
365 days is a whole year.
I know, I meant 364.
So that's one day less than a year. So what day would it be? Because this is March 29th.
366.
Jeez Louise.
56.
What's the date? How do you not understand what I'm asking you? 364 days from now is what date? Give me the date. Today the date is March 29th.
Clearly, he is not Rain Man.
I'm done talking to you. I don't
I
even
don't
want to talk to you
know.
anymore. Wiggle worm. Look, you're messing up the camera and everything.
What?
What do you want to tell the listeners about Jackson?
He's a really adorable baby goat.
Is he cuter than you?
cuter?
Is he cuter than you?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Do you know why?
Chicken thigh.
Do you know what?
um.
Chicken butt. Okay, so why? Do you know why he's cuter than you?
Because it's a baby and it's a goat.
Because he's not mine. I don't have to pay for him. Somebody else does. I kind of do want a goat now, do you?
Yeah.
We can't have one in city limits. We'll have to convince Mom to buy a farm. Do you want to live on a farm? Say no.
No.
No,
But I want a goat.
Well, we're not getting a goat right now.
You
You can get a pocket goat.
What's a
A
pocket?
goat this big that's a toy and it's plastic.
That goes.
That's what I used to tell your brother,
That goes like.
Quinton. Look, when
That's
Quinton
baby
was
goat.
your size and he wanted a pet, I gave him a painted rock and I told him it was his pet rock. Because back in the day, whenever I was younger, that's what we had, is we had a thing called pet rock. Are we arm wrestling all of a sudden? Goobus? Did you know that?
No.
We had a thing called a pet rock where we would take a rock and paint it. And it was our pet. I had a pet worm too, an earthworm.
An earthworm.
You know what I named him?
Earthy.
No.
Arthur.
No.
That's the only names I could think of.
You can't think of anything else to name a worm? How about Wormy?
Wormy. I was about to say that.
Uh-huh. Okay, so his name was Wormy. I didn't have him very long. He died very quickly.
Like in how many seconds?
No, not seconds. He died in a few days. Okay, well, so do you have anything else that you want to tell the listeners, the podcast listeners, about your experience today with Jackson or with Joe or with Kristen or with Kylie? This is what you say. Thank you. Be like Guru Brando. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so Q, you got to meet Jackson today. Jackson is a goat.
Yes.
How cool was that for you?
That was really cool. It's not often you see goats here in the the suburbs, the small town.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. It's especially cool because it was like a baby goat. It was a goat raised in captivity. So
in captivity, domesticated goat.
So yeah, and so he was especially chill around people, let him hold him and all that. But he tried to take off a couple of times, and that was pretty funny.
I thought I was gonna die. I chased him twice.
Yeah, I saw you trying to get him and all that. I was like,
yeah.
Sure, you don't want to leave that to me? I was like kind of thinking that.
Yeah,
I know that like after they leave, you're gonna be like, oh, my shoulders.
Yeah, it's not so much my shoulders, but now it's like, okay, it's setting in that I need to get back in shape.
Everything's starting to hurt again. Great.
Yeah, but you notice that I'm wearing my tie-dye shawl because my shoulders are a little smoked.
Yeah.
And so I'm heating them up right now. I'm warming them up with this. I talked to your brother Oliver earlier about the goat, and he said he was adorable. Do you agree?
Yep.
That is the definition
Also,
of
that
adorable.
sticker really messed up between your eyes there, didn't it?
No. This is what I rubbed. This was the pressure point that I'd rubbed. That's why I was wearing the Band-Aid. See, I put medicine on it.
Oh.
And then I put the Band-Aid on it.
I thought it was just a sticker
because,
you're Mop Pod and you do that
because
stuff
I'm weird.
sometimes.
No,
Yeah.
mom drew the little eye.
Oh,
So speaking of, this is the thing that I do when I'm stressed out is I sit here and I like rub between my eyes, or I rub my temples like this.
Yeah.
And so you'll notice that sometimes I have them here, sometimes I have them here. But that's the way that I calm myself. What do you do to calm yourself when you're stressed out?
Video games, usually.
But well, that's how you check out. But in the moment, like say you're
Oh,
at
in the
school.
moment? I
Yeah.
draw.
Okay, so
Or
your way of coping is more constructive than what mine is, you see. And Mom, when she gets stressed out, she pulls her eyebrow hairs.
Mhm.
She'll probably kick my ass for saying that on the podcast, but I don't care.
What's real is real.
Yeah, that's right.
Nothing more, nothing less.
And
Get
you know,
over it.
like I don't care. Like I'll rock this sword, but then people think that like I have something, contagious. And so that's why I was going to cover it, and then I just thought that it was funny if I used it for the third eye thing. Actually, Mom thought it was funny. And so then I let her do it because what the hell? If you don't laugh at yourself, I was talking to Oliver about, see this little unicorn here? This is what, the little girl Kylie that was here with the goat's friend.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, she painted this for me, this little unicorn. And I was talking to Oliver about how it's got two different colored skin because he was naming the color. And
What did he say, aquamarine?
No, he said turquoise. But I told him that Michael Jackson had a disease like that. It was what was it called, vitiligo or something?
Oh, yeah.
Like that?
I
Is
thought
that
he
what it's
bleached
called?
himself. It wasn't. I don't
Well,
think.
he did because he had that disease.
Okay, because he had it. Yeah, vitiligo is the one that.
That's it. Okay.
That
So
messes up your skin pigment.
right. So I was talking to him about that, and I asked if he thought that this unicorn would be made fun of, because sometimes people make fun of skin colors. He has no idea that skin color is made fun of sometimes. Does that seem odd to you?
No, I remember learning.
Because
learning
you never,
of that when I was smaller.
Yeah, you never really grew up with racism.
Yeah, and I remember even when I was really young, I was like 10, 11, 12, watching those like Modern Warfare 2 videos, and those words are just rolling out of people's mouths. And like
so you just
the
thought it was
N-word,
normal
I thought it was just like, oh yeah, it's
a word.
I knew that it was a bad word and that it was like racist somehow, but I didn't put two and two together that racism is actually a thing.
Yeah, you had no idea.
Yeah, never experienced it. There was always a bunch of different races there because it was the military.
Yeah.
There were a lot of... One of my best friends, Desmond, he was black and with a single mom.
Yeah. And, so see...
And she worked so hard.
I know,
Man.
they were such a badass family.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Renita. I hope that you listened because, man, you had it going on, girl.
Yeah.
And hats off to you. I really always admired the way that you could do it the way that you did. Your kids were fantastic.
I always
and Najee, that was her name. Desmond, Najee, and Renita.
I was, anytime I messed up and Renita got mad at me, like, I felt really bad.
Yeah.
Because, like, I just, like, knew it that she was working hard.
Yeah.
She was always gone, always off at work.
Yeah, because she was a soldier.
And then Desmond had to learn how to kind of live alone at the apartment.
But he didn't really live alone. He had Najee there, and they had a great community. So it's not like she was just leaving him. They knew what to do. And what amazed me were the mornings that they were walking to school on time. He had Najee, right there ready to go, and just like they were doing it. And I admired that so much. And I wanted y'all to experience that, that freedom that they had to make mistakes and all that stuff. But we kept a pretty tight leash on y'all because Mom was so paranoid.
Yeah,
Mom was so paranoid.
I remember watching him make ramen, and I was so deathly afraid of the stove because it got hot and hot is bad.
Yeah, because the one time when Mom was deployed, and we lived out in Campbell, out at the house that we took you that burned. And thank you, people, for letting us
I have
come back
pictures
and
of
look.
the cat that was there.
Yeah, but that place there, that's where
And that brick.
we had the wood burning stove, and in the winter, because Mom was gone and she was deployed in the winter, and through the winter to heat the house, I would take and I have this thing on. I would take and burn all day. So I would go out and get the wood and bring it back in and keep it going. Well, so in between the house and getting the wood in the garage, you had to be unattended for a moment. And you knew not to touch it. You wouldn't ever go near it whenever we were in there.
Yeah.
And we always said, it's hot. Well, I came back in, and you weren't really making a noise, but you were kind of holding yourself. And you were just being chubby bubby and just kind of walking around making weird sounds. And I looked, and of course Alex was diming you out. She had that suspicious look on her face. And so I looked, and your little finger was white where you had touched it, and it had just instantly gotten the
One
skin
must
off.
suffer in pursuit of science.
That's right. And you discovered the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
I remember one time
At band camp.
I was 12 years old.
Is that your notepad, your handy dandy notebook?
Yeah, it's for when we were talking about something and we kind of branch off, and so I have to write down the original thing so I don't forget it.
Good luck. Grandpa and I've been trying to do that for years. He has like
All right,
60 of those.
It's worth a try.
Okay, we'll keep going.
It's for other things too.
Okay, all right.
I have a conversation
for your kill list. Is that what it is?
No.
Oh.
No, there's only a couple names on there. No.
Anywho's, you were saying before I rudely interrupted.
What was I saying?
I don't even know. I don't even remember what we were talking
God dang
about.
it, man. That sucks.
You didn't write it in your notebook.
Yeah, but now I know.
Oh my God.
Next time it happens, I'll be wiser.
I'm flashing back to watching Blue's Clues with you. And you had a handy dandy notebook. Do you remember that? And it looked just like it. It had the little crayon.
I remember the smell of it to this day.
The smell. You
I
and
remember the
Oliver
smell.
with the smell. It must be
It was a
part of the
unique smell.
autism thing.
It was
It
was so great because it was like the real thing. It wasn't like just some toy of the product. It was like real.
Is that why you have a thing for office supplies?
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh my God, because you get high every time we walk into the office supply store. It's like me. We're both all...
It's like all the white erasers look so nice.
Oh, I know. And the folders, though, I could just the sea of color of folders. I just want to like my folders right there.
The one at the office section at
So
Walmart like sucks big time.
I know.
All their folders
terrible.
are gone, and like it's like and you have hardly any variety.
Yeah.
You have just the standard.
Well,
colors.
that's because we're bougie and we expect the office supply store. You see, that's an us problem. Walmart has fine products there on the shelves for
they
people,
work.
but for us bougie people who require things like a tie-dye shawl because my bones are getting old. We like those heavy-duty.
You know what bothers
office
me?
supplies. Tell me.
Folders are the simplest things ever. You can make them yourself. You don't even have to buy them because you just fold them a certain way. And look at that. That's what they do. And they stick a couple metal things through them sometimes, maybe.
So folders are
like,
literally made from folding.
Yeah.
them.
And so it's like you don't even have to go out and buy them. But it feels better too anyway because they're like the fancy plastic. It's like you're just going to go and buy that.
That is us choosing to thrive over survive. Sure, you could survive by folding a piece of paper over it, but we want excellence. We want the plastic
Learn all
ones.
the DIY tricks.
Yeah. I make my own envelopes. I do whenever I send out greeting cards and such. I make my own envelopes out of my scrap paper that has, stuff because I want to be aware of how much I'm using. Well, it's not to save money. It's to not reconsume, new products. I'm trying to lower that footprint. I don't do great at it, but I'm okay sometimes. So it's baby steps. Baby steps. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah. I'm trying.
We try harder. You're about to go off to college. You're going to go visit Newmont, right?
Yeah.
In Utah, Salt Lake City.
Yep.
And we've never been to Utah. No, none of us have been to Utah, but...
On the Discord, they have a self-promotion section, so I ought to link this there.
So, do you know I've gotten odd questions whenever I say that we're taking you on a tour there in Utah. They automatically assume that we're looking for a sister wife. People have asked me if and maybe it's because I'm pansexual that people assume, but I am pro polygamy too. So, but for spiritual reasons, obviously, I'm pro polygamy. For me, it's about building on love, because love multiplies. It, just like what's his butt says on Sister Wives, Cody. What he says, love is meant to be multiplied, not divided. I believe the same thing, just a little bit differently. It's not religious, but it's spiritual.
Okay.
So people have asked us if that's what we're going to do. And it's like, why would someone assume that? Because we're part of LGBT. And somehow they group LGBT with polygamy. And I'm not really sure why. So that was an odd connection for me. I haven't heard anything like that.
Yeah.
When you mention Utah, does anyone say anything about sister wives or anything?
No, never heard anything about sister wives.
Yeah. So maybe, just adult circles, they equate Utah with sister wives, and they equate a different family dynamic as LGBT. So they just group that in with it, I guess. I'm not sure.
Non-traditional, thus it's gay.
Yeah, non-traditional. So
Don't do that, bro. It's gay.
yeah, I don't know when gay became mainstream. I like that. I mean,
Early 2000s, maybe?
oh God, please don't start doing
that.
like Oliver freaking Rain Man with dates. I can't handle any more dates.
No, like there was an 80s gay stereotype,
Stop with
wasn't
the.
there?
Oh, what?
An 80s gay stereotype, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
it's just always bad. Yeah, it's just always been bad. Let's not. But it was funny because Little Rain Man was in here doing all his dates, and
yeah,
he's weird about it, right?
What's he gonna be when he grows up?
I don't know.
The human calendar. And it'll be one of those viral YouTube videos.
I don't even know what that is, but it sounds like something I would watch. I would totally watch that. I gotta be honest with you. But for real though, have you seen him be all weird like that with numbers and dates?
Yeah, no. He'll tell me all the dates that his consoles came out on.
Yeah, and Grandpa's noticed it too, and he's like, there's something to that boy. And I was like, yeah, he's weird like you, Dad. Y'all lean toward.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I forgot Southern to say that. There's something not right with the boy. It's not just that boy ain't right.
No, he said there's something to that boy.
Yeah, there's something to that boy.
There's something
it's a little
to
more
that boy.
polite.
Yeah, or there's something to that situation.
They always have these like clever, like polite, but still
like bless your heart.
Oddly, yeah. God bless your soul.
Yeah. Oh,
things like that.
Heavens.
Man.
Bless your heart. All those nice pleasantries. Do you remember when you went through that phase where you wanted to be Southern? And I was like, dude, you are. You're Southern. You were born.
I don't remember that.
You were born in Texas. Yeah.
I remember wanting.
It's when we
I
lived
remember watching Joey try to put on an Australian accent.
Yeah,
and
it's
it was
when
like
we
really
lived in
cringy.
North Carolina. When we lived in North Carolina, you were like, why can't I be why can't I be Southern? And I was like, you are Southern. And you said, but talk like you. And I was like, why would you want to talk like me? I've spent years trying not to talk like this, and so I didn't understand. And what you were trying to do was have a Southern dialect.
Yeah.
And Alex also went through that, which is
Really?
funny. Yeah, she went through that a couple of years ago. She kind of had some remorse.
Maybe
that she
had
didn't
a teen.
have.
She saw a teen model. It was like a blonde girl with like cowboy boots on. And some
No,
plaid
she was
jacket.
talking about having
It's
the Southern tone. Hey, your sister has style, and don't be knocking her for her fashion and her style. She's very creative,
No, I
and
was
you
just
got to
saying
give
that
her
that's
props
the,
on that.
That's
basic.
the average, basic stereotype there with that
Yeah.
Southern style.
I don't know what people ever assume I look like if they don't watch. If they only listen to us. I wonder how they view Guru Brando and Joe. And how they view you. Don't you think that'd be a unique perspective? People who just listen to us. Because, I get called female all the time. Every time I get a phone call or we
Dang.
do through drive-through.
That sucks, man.
It doesn't bother me. It is what
Yeah.
it is. I sound like a girl or a super queer guy, and I'm okay with that because I've been both. You know, I don't really care. It doesn't trigger me. It used to trigger the crap out of me, though. But,
Yeah, it would.
I've matured a little bit.
I'd be
Just
pretty
a little,
mad
though.
too, taking these shots every week
Yeah, that's what
for
sucks.
so many years, and just
So
only
for-
still to just be screwed on that front.
That's what gets me. So for 6 years, I have been putting a needle in my leg, and it's a big needle, and it hurts because it's got to go into the muscle. So
Man.
I give myself a testosterone shot every week for the past 6 years, with the exception of a couple times, like when I had the surgeries, I had to stay off of it for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and so missed 2 shots there. And when the insurance didn't pay for it for a little while, when we were in Texas, and it had to come out of pocket, and sometimes I couldn't afford it, and so I didn't get it. But so it's been pretty
Dang.
consistent. So after going through all that and all the struggle for somebody to call me ma'am, yeah, I was totally triggered. But now I'm just like, whatever.
I'd be too scared. I'd be a tomboy until like I'm financially stable enough until I know I am.
Yeah. That's what Mom did, and it was dumb. And that's sort of how we view, other people that do that. You're not like a car that goes into the body shop and just gets switched.
Yeah.
You have to go through the process because you have to know real world what it feels like, because you've got to build the resilience to come to the end. And my beautiful podcast guest, my sometimes curious guest, Kristen, she actually had remarked on, the bravery that it takes to transition on all that. And I haven't ever looked at that piece because I've just been doing it. So I never take a step back and go, oh yeah, that was really brave. What I think is brave is the people that have the courage to speak up when they're being victimized. So I view any victim that can speak up as an advocate as someone to admire. So that's just what I try to do and just keep moving forward. Sometimes it's good to stop and reflect on who you are, though. So when you stop and reflect on who you are right now versus who you are, what did you overcome?
Man, I overcame a lot. Like a lot.
So tell me what the first thing is.
Not crying at literally everything.
When did that stop for you?
I don't know. Probably like 12.
You finally stopped. That's what Lucas is going through right now. He's finally getting to where he doesn't cry at everything.
Yeah.
It's that awareness that you're not responsible for everything. It's independence. When you begin to gather independent thought, you can see a little bit more clear that the world's not going to collide without you doing something,
Yeah.
So what made you realize that?
Yeah, well, it just started to feel not worth it. I was like, why am I crying anyway?
Right.
And then eventually I just like realized, well,
It's not my problem.
it's like, wow. I mean, crying is too much effort for something this dumb.
Yeah.
And then like, it's like, oh, well, this is why. It's because it's not worth it.
Sometimes I simply look at it and go, not my monkey, not my circus. It's not my problem,
Oh.
and it's not my cause, But some things are a problem and our cause, and the little boys are one of them. They're both our problem and our
Yeah.
cause. And right now we're trying to advocate
Well,
for
it's kind of
their...
what all a family is, isn't it?
Right. But right now we're trying to advocate for the little boys' independence with Mom, right? So we're trying to help Mom help the little boys become more independent because she coddled them a little. You were babied like hell too,
Oh,
because
yeah.
all our energy went to you. But now you've come into your own and you're able to finally help us. And so you're acting sort of as a mentor for the little boys. What do you think you're teaching them the most right now?
I'm not quite sure, honestly.
I think you're teaching them acceptance and respect.
Oh yeah, I teach him respect a lot. Like,
You were trying to teach Oliver what recently in my car?
I was telling him to take one apple at a time.
And
And that was even before the car. We were sitting at the bench under the gazebo. And I was
whenever
like, Oliver, one at a time. Do not touch any other apple except for the one that you're getting.
yeah, see, it even stresses
And he did
me
it.
out. I can feel
And the
myself
very
getting
next
stressed.
time, the
Oh.
very next time he was over there, I told him it again, and now he knows not to. Because when I saw him in the car, and I told him again, he said, I know. And he was actually doing it.
He does what Mom does, where they just reach in to whatever it is and feel around with their
Yeah.
hands and not just reach in and get it. You look at something, reach in and get it.
Yeah.
And don't disturb other stuff. You don't need to do what we call raffling when you're raffling through stuff.
With bags of chips, like, I like get a lot of chips, but I like it. Make sure it's one thing, and I just grab it and pull out. And
Remove
so that
it like
chunk
the
is
claw.
like very quickly with precision. I have my chunk of chips.
Like Cobra Strike.
Yeah.
You Cobra Strike out your
I don't know.
chips. Oh, you made me snort. And what are you freaking writing in your notepad?
I'm
Oh my
writing the direction
God.
Our conversations are going.
You're
So-
trying to keep up with our conversation.
Well, yeah. How else am I gonna know?
You're not. You're just going to say, screw it, I'm throwing caution to the wind, and I'm just going to talk about some crap and post it
Well,
on the
this is
internet
supposed to be like
for everybody
important.
to listen to.
And we've been off track of anything important for the past like 30 minutes.
Quinton, none of
Not
this.
30 minutes.
None of this is really. Yeah, it's been 22 minutes since we've been talking, but none of this is super important. This is what we do for entertainment.
Okay, so we're doing an entertainment one.
Well, positively entertaining. What do we need to talk about?
I don't know. I just thought something important would be like the main structure here, but it was just like kind of free form going to various other important areas.
Isn't that the importance of it? We're talking about diversity right now.
Oh, okay.
And we're
That's
talking
the
about
thing.
being flexible, right? So what if we just did
Okay,
this? What if
that
we
makes
just
sense.
no structure whatsoever? Because you and I both really like structure, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helps.
Structure makes us feel comfortable and safe if we know what to predict. That's why you have a notepad.
Yeah.
That's why Oliver creates dates and timelines, because that's his way of narrowing the field in, because sometimes he's overstimulated. You get overstimulated too. What overstimulates you? Sight, sound, smell, taste, texture.
Like, geez, big social events. Ones where there's like a lot of people.
So yeah, social.
Yeah.
Is that Lukey did?
It's not anxiety. It's
Hey, cool hand Luke, come in here.
It's time to eat.
Okay, but come in here for a second.
Ooh, what are we having?
Food. It's what's for dinner. I've been saying that forever to you too. Come here.
We're eating a vegetable stew with bacon in it.
Oh, sweet.
here.
That sounds
Come over
amazing.
here. Okay, look at them. You also got to meet the baby goat Jackson.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on him?
Adorable.
That was also Oliver's thoughts. So I was talking to Oliver about Kylie painted this for me, this unicorn, and I named it Princess Bella. Well, she named it Princess Bella. Kind of combined. I put in the princess. She said Bella. So I was talking about how the skin color is different, and I asked Oliver if he thought that this unicorn would get made fun of because he has different colored skin, because sometimes people make fun of other people for their skin color. And
Well, then
he-
that's just racism.
Right, but Oliver didn't know what racism was. He didn't know that other people were made fun of for their skin color. Or he didn't know what discrimination was, because he didn't realize that other people were made fun of for their skin color. But he did tell me that he has been bullied at school. He's been called names.
Yeah.
And so he said to me the other day that he was called dumb. And yeah, but that really
That'll
affected
do a
him.
lot.
I mean, yeah.
But then I asked him.
I remember that happening to me.
But then I asked him if he felt like he was, and he said no, and he knew that it was their problem. So he has that awareness
Okay.
already. So I wanted to say thank you, boys, for helping to teach him that lesson, because you have that awareness that it's not really about you, it's about maybe them at home. And you have that awareness. So you two have helped to give him that. So I want to say thank you, and I wanted to say thank you personally on camera, because it's not often that you get the props you deserve.
Hmm.
Yeah? Because you've been a great big brother lately. And you know why? Because you have a pretty good big brother too, huh?
Yeah.
You know what Oliver would say? Chicken thigh.
Yeah, he would. He said that on the thing. He said, and I said, you know what? And he goes, yeah, I said chicken butt. Yeah.
Oh.
So what else about Jackson did you like?
I liked how he jumped a lot, and it was very playful.
Do you want a baby goat?
Yes.
Yeah, I was saying, like, when Hansel dies, just get rid of Fat Belly, then that's 2 slots open, leaving enough room for a goat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But no, they would kill us. The city would say, nope, you
What?
cannot. Yeah.
What?
We can't have a goat in city limits. We can go visit all the goats we want. We just drive to her
Okay.
house. She has 30 of them.
Okay.
I could see y'all in a horde of goats.
We gotta have, like, petting zoo days.
So I'll just call her
Drive
up.
out to our friend's house and pet all their goats.
Would you do that?
I would definitely do that.
Yeah. So what was your absolute sold, I want a baby goat? What was that thought whenever you saw that one?
How he was so playful.
Yeah. So it was it wasn't the onesie and the diaper, because that's what Oliver thought was
That was
adorable.
off-putting. Now, honestly, like, I don't like it when there's clothes on animals. And it's like,
Well,
I get the use.
But she has a reason for it.
Yeah, I
she's
get the
not just
use.
one of those weird people. She is weird, but
Yeah.
she's not weird.
no,
like
I
that.
get it, but it's just like, man, it's just so much better if it's just the normal animal
Yeah,
and stuff.
But it had to have a diaper on, and in order to protect the diaper, it had to have the onesie on. And so, I don't like clothes on
Then what's gonna
anything,
protect
on
the
people
onesie?
or animals. I think clothes are awful for us as creatures.
Then what's gonna protect the onesie?
What do you mean? Oh, nothing. Didn't you see Jackson nibbling on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll probably be gone soon enough.
Soon enough, he'll get a little bit bigger. He bit at me a couple times, but
Little
it was
goat
still
teeth.
cute. Yes. So thank you guys for sharing the experience with me and actually coming and joining in the goat herding fun, because I had to chase the little devil
Yeah.
and catch
Like
him.
down the road.
Thought I was gonna die. Did you think I was gonna die?
No.
Oh, you didn't.
I was pretty scared of incoming cars though.
Oh yeah, me too. I
Oh,
bet
yeah.
you were sitting there biting your nails, weren't you? We were just talking about how you've gotten better about not crying all the time about everything, because he went through it too.
Yeah.
You feel like you're really got that awareness that not everything is about you and your problem, right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes you better and not crying. Because back in the day, a few months ago, if you had seen the goat run out in the street, you probably would have cried, wouldn't you have?
Most likely.
Yeah, and you didn't this time, did you?
No.
It would have been awful if you did. I just dimed you out, wouldn't it?
I was just hurrying to get the goat, but I figured cars wouldn't be going fast enough to
Yeah.
make it a real issue anyway.
Yeah, but Lucas is running on what he knows, and he knows we've told him that you will get hit if you go in the street.
Yeah,
And
the
that's
street,
exactly what you
just
need to
can't.
know, because you're careful. Hey, I have a fear. I have an OCD tendency that's around that very fear right there of children getting hit at school, because I watched 2 children get hit at school before, and both
In
in
the
a
parking lot?
crosswalk.
Oh man, how
Yeah.
fast was it going?
One was whenever I was young in elementary school, and my friend Becky's brother got hit, and it was a drunk driver, and I'm sure they were going over 40 miles an hour. He was killed instantly. And
Well,
then
this
when
was
we lived at
fast.
Fort Bragg, I don't know if y'all remember, but 2 kids were hit together, one incident when we lived there. And so I was in line to pick up whenever that happened.
Did they die?
No, they didn't, but they were injured,
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. But you see, you would have cried before at that, wouldn't you have?
Yes.
But right now it's not your problem.
Yeah.
So,
Man, that reminds me of Dominic, Grant, and their
Yes,
father. The 2 boys and the dad that died.
oh yeah, they were in your Cub Scout group.
And I kind of knew Dominic. I think at the time I was getting kind of close. And I was aware of Grant. We kind of talked a couple of times. Grant was a little younger, and he always had a weird, sore on his lip.
Yeah.
And, but he was a fun kid. I never met their father, though. And, man, that just sucked.
Yeah, we'll talk
like,
about that a
dang.
different day. That was a very unfortunate accident that
Yeah.
it really didn't need to happen, but it did. Anyway, well, thank you guys. I know that it's supper time, and Mom made potatoes and cabbage.
Yes, with bacon in it.
I can't
Well,
wait.
y'all have bacon, I don't. So mine's in a potato pancake.
I know.
Anyway, all right. Thank you. I'm your host. Your sometimes curious guest that's mostly here, Beth. And you are, I don't even know. Alex. Okay. Don't even play shy. You're so weird. All right, so you got to meet Jackson the goat. What do you think about him?
He looked like a baby. Like a human baby.
And so that made him what? What
Cute.
was the word cute? You said adorable.
Did I say adorable?
You did, and so did Oliver and Lucas. And do you see what Kylie, the little girl, painted me?
That's nice.
It's my favorite colors. And look what Mom gave me. It says Goober bread dough, and it's nice. She also made me the Team Goober shirt.
I feel like I should be able to pick it off.
Don't!
I'm not going to. I can't. I just want
God,
to.
you with the picking stuff off. You taught Lucas that. He messes with everything and peels everything
Okay,
off.
Mr. Peel stickers off.
Oh, look, check this out. I took the third eye off and exposed it. It's healing
not a
good.
third eye. It's a zit.
No,
Not a zit.
the thing. No, it wasn't. This was the pressure thing, the
Oh.
stress thing that I do, and so I put a Band-Aid there, put medicine on it, and Band-Aid. And Mom drew an eye on it for me, so
Nice.
we were calling it the third eye.
Nice.
It's pretty epic, wasn't it?
Yeah, if I'd have thought about it for a second, I might have put it in a little triangle.
Yeah, you should have. I don't know why you didn't, dingus. But anyway, so what do you think about this? It's nice, right?
It is nice.
And it's like great colors. I really like that. It reminds me of the old roller skates.
I don't like that the top is green though.
Yeah, that was weird, but I kind of dig it because that's my favorite lime green. You know,
you
I
can
love
like
lime
draw
green
things on it though.
because it's like weed green. Oh, speaking of, look at this. That's one of my stickers. If you want to see the show and tell, you
I
got to
would
watch
die.
the show. I think it's cool because it's tie-dye. So I was explaining to Oliver that has different colors. I asked him what colors it was, and I asked if he thought that unicorn would be made fun of because he has different colored two-tone
So you
skin.
say yeah.
No. He said no.
Unicorns
And
don't
then
make
guess
fun of
what?
each other.
I said, right. I said, did you know that people do that sometimes? And that's what brought up the whole Michael Jackson skin
with
thing.
vitiligo. Yeah.
Right. And he said no, that he didn't know that other people were made fun of because of their skin color.
Yeah, people are made fun of for a lot of things.
But that shows that he is not one of those. You know, so he's chill with it, and it's just weird. And I asked Quinton about it. And he was talking about Desmond and Najee and Renita and how much he admired Renita for taking care of him that way and stuff like that.
And for still like
Doing
being a
it.
boss beat, you know?
Yeah, that's what I gave props
Kicking
to.
butt, taking names. Still in
Yeah.
the military, you know. Is she out now?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked in a long time.
Mm.
We'll have to start stalking him again.
Yeah. I remember she
Something
was
like
into like empowering like pole dancing, which I heard is like
Oh, that would
really
really be cool.
is like really good exercise.
Please don't.
I'm not going
Okay,
to.
thank you. I
Uh,
just
That's
don't. Let's
too much
stop
hand-
this
That's
conversation.
That's too
Can we
much
not talk about pole
hand-eye
dancing?
coordination
From your
for me.
16-year-old.
Stop talking.
I
We're
was going
done.
to talk about my hand-eye coordination.
Okay.
I have really bad hand-eye coordination, which is
I'm good
it's
at
why
it.
I'm in band and
You
not
see
in
that?
color guard.
Oh yeah, you're right. Do you want that one? It's the thin mint.
No, thank you.
But you see, I have good eye-hand coordination. We just had supper. Mom just made potato, onions, cabbage, and sausage for
Sausage.
y'all. But for me, it was a pancake made out of the, what's it called?
It's a latke.
What's that other
It
crap
was
called?
Colkin and
Cold cannon. And so
Potato
he made me,
pancake.
and now I'm eating what I shouldn't, which is why I have fat. Joe brought me this. Joe.
Is it your drink?
No, I didn't ask him to make my drink. I just said Diet Dr. Pepper, but it's a really good one. It is.
Is it
tastes
just
really,
Diet Dr. Pepper?
I don't know. I can't tell if it is or
I
if
bet he laced
swi-
it.
He did with something. I know. I was starting to wonder if I was going to get all weird, but his sister was here, so that would have been weird. If
There was
he
a
had
goat
roofied
here.
me in-
The goat
Yes.
would have.
I know, that's what I said. I was like, uh-huh. That's
Um,
what that was about.
I talked about today with Tom how Oliver was a window licker.
Oh, my God, he was.
I said he was a headbutter and a window licker.
Oh, man, do you remember how much he would do it, too? Like, it was to the embarrassing level. Because we lived on post.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's your kid, and his favorite window to lick was the front one. And he would climb over the couch, do you remember? And just get in the windowsill and just go to town on it.
He'd clean them.
I was horrified.
We should have sent him outside to clean the outside.
Oh,
We joked about that.
do you remember all the pollen that we had at Fort Bragg? Everything would be layered in like a fluorescent kind of yellow. And can you imagine if he was licking that off the windows?
Ugh.
It was all that pine pollen.
Speaking of fluorescent yellow, we had section colors today, right?
Uh-huh.
And the trumpets are all yellow. And there's this one freshman kid who put yellow, like it was like a marigold, like crayon kind of yellow. And he
So-
had neon yellow shorts. It was
Mm.
bad. Oh,
That doesn't sound like it would.
it doesn't match at all.
No.
And he had a red hat too.
Wow. Sounds like my type of kid. We should
Mm-mm.
meet.
Mm-mm.
I could coach.
Mm-mm. He's the kind of kid who doesn't keep his mask on.
Oh.
Yeah, I yell at him a lot to get his mask back on, and he's like super scared of me. So, me, a 5'1" high school girl, you know.
People were scared of Grandma, and she was 4'11".
It's about the loud voice, okay? Because I'm like,
Oh my God! Please don't do it. Please
I'm not
don't.
going to do it. I
Oh.
was like, hey, where's your mask? And then he was like,
God, you're like
and I was like,
gatekeeper.
put it on. I don't yell at people for anything other than
You
putting
have
their
that
masks on.
scary
I
mom
thought
voice,
you were a
though.
teacher.
Yeah, you got scary mom voice. And all of your teachers told you that you were going to be a teacher, and you wanted to be a teacher
I
for a
wanted to
while.
be a teacher.
Why do you not now? Honestly.
It's a lot of work for something I'm not super passionate about. And for
Oh,
me,
sounds like somebody else.
for me,
A lot of work
putting
for
in,
something that you don't really care about. That's
it's
literally
not
what
that
you
I
said about
don't
being
really
an
care about.
NCO
It's that
at
I'm not
first.
passionate enough about. For like that's a whole lifestyle.
No
that's a
kidding.
career.
That's what I do.
That's what I mean. It's like if I'm
So
not
I
passionate,
stopped you from wanting to be a teacher when you
No.
saw how much was involved?
No,
Oh, thank God.
it was like losing interest in teaching and seeing like how much there was to it and being like, do I really want to do this? Do I want to go through all this work and not even be happy? You know. So
Yeah. I get that. You got 2 college letters. I'm going to open them on camera.
sure.
Oh my God. I just showed the viewers my armpit hair.
Ugh.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, let's see. We have Case Western.
My
Reserve
natural
University.
deodorant works well, though.
I've
You
been-
have to admit it
I've been
wasn't
getting
smelling.
emails from them, Case Western.
Okay.
It's probably just like, take this survey to see which college is right for you, because it's got the return.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see.
So do you want to do that?
I don't know. I'll probably see. Look, it's another one of those. I'm excited I found you, a bright student with an impressive
please don't read
academic
the whole thing.
record. No, I'm not.
Open
That's
the
just
other
what they
one.
all say. Is like, I'm impressed.
Well, they
Academic
should
record.
be impressed.
The most I've done is like kept up. Like I haven't gotten a C through all of high school. Like that's the best that I've done.
That's the best she's done. My God, I want a new kid.
Can't
Like,
believe you
it's-
gotta be.
I
I'm
have
spitting food everywhere
I have
because
a 4.8 GPA on a 5.0 scale.
Trampall needs to put his denture back in.
Hey, this one's not the same.
Don't look.
He's putting his
Trampall
teeth
had
in.
to put his denture back in. You know that's what I'm going to make your kids call me is Trampall.
Now prepare for college and beyond. But that's all in bold.
Of
And
course
beyond.
it is. Oh my God, it really says and beyond.
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
I kind of like. There's this. Show them the girl with the sunglasses here.
Yeah.
She's what I
Me
want to
too.
be. With her coffee in one hand.
Trendy.
Trendy. The girl with the sunglasses.
Okay, well,
I can't wear sunglasses.
you know what? That marketing doesn't work for you.
No.
Honestly, it doesn't.
Mm-mm.
What works for you? How do colleges hook you, Alexandria?
With promise of like good financials, you know, like not driving me into debt. Because
Okay,
for
so
me,
you
I'm
want
not,
a cost-effective school.
I'm not picky about like prestigious colleges.
Are
I
you-
just want to not be in debt because I don't want a
That's
career.
scary.
Yeah, debt is very scary, and especially with someone.
We're still digging
someone-
ourselves out.
Yeah, to someone who has very bad money management skills.
Why do you have bad money management skills?
I don't have money often, so I don't have the opportunity to
Hey,
spend it
that's
wisely.
you. That's what you used to say. You played the ATM lottery. Do you know what that is?
Is when you put your card in and see how much you can get.
Yeah, just hope for the best. And she literally said that to me. Do you remember the day you told me that?
By the time you get to the point where you're playing the lottery, it's $20 you want.
Okay,
Because
look.
that's the lowest it'll go.
This is what happened. We pulled through the ATM thing, and I was actually driving Kablooey, my blue
Kablooey.
car. It was a blue Plymouth
It
Reliant.
was
It was
a
my
blue
first car.
Plymouth Reliant.
Yeah. And so Kablooey, because it blew up in Amarillo, and we had to abandon it, and we came home with the big burrito car that your Uncle Wayne gave us, which was great. It had hydraulics, but they didn't work. We were like Cheech and Chong, only with no weed.
Failing air shocks.
Yeah, but it was a smooth ride. It got us from point A to point B, got Quinton home. So what the hell was I talking about?
ATM lottery.
ATM lottery. So we're in the Plymouth, and I pull up, and she hands me the card because I'm driving. And I go to put it in, and I said, how much do you want? And she's like, let's do 30 or 40 at first. And so I was like, okay, and it didn't work. And she's like, damn it. And I was like, what do you want me to do? And she's like, try 20. And I was like, okay. And each transaction cost money at that time. So each time she did that, it was like $1. And I was like, oh, I can't stand it. What are you doing? And then she looked at me and she said, it's like the lottery.
Transaction has to go through before you charge.
You had the credit union at the time, and we were using Silver Springs Bank. It cost you each time. And that's why I couldn't stand it. So whenever you would go through that and use it, it cost you, and you didn't have $40, and you wanted me to try again for $1.
Oh, I don't even really remember that.
See, that's why.
I remember the term.
Money management.
I remember playing
But you're
that
learning.
game, but I don't remember that specific situation.
How are you empowering your financial rewards right now? By choosing to be wise and not get into financial debt.
I don't spend my money unless I have money.
That's only because your boyfriend spends his money on you. If
Because he insists to.
Does he insist upon himself? Alex, what's the best movie you've watched lately?
I started watching Tag.
I don't know what that is.
It's the one with Ed Helms where they play the 30-year-long
I
game
don't
of
know
tag.
who that is.
Is it funny?
You know Ed
That
Helms.
is not true. There is not a movie where they
yeah,
play.
it's called Tag.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's based on a true story.
The whole
Somebody
premise,
actually did it,
it's
didn't
inspired by a true story.
Okay.
The whole
Inspired, duh.
thing, yeah, because I don't think there was actually.
Carry on. She's
so
like, I'm not
The
new
whole
here.
thing is like this. One of their friends has never been tagged in 30 years and never been tagged.
I love you.
And he's got like Sherlock Holmes-esque, like it slows down time and it's got the inner monologue and it's like Hoagie's coming in from the side, blind him, and then it's like,
Oh my god.
and he's like,
that's so
Hoagie
great.
slaps this guy, like make mental note, this guy's now it. Hoagie's free game, and then he like punches him in the butt.
Okay, we're gonna have to watch that.
It's really good. I started watching it in one of my classes as an in-class activity because we don't have enough
You
time.
are narking out people right now.
We don't. I'm not. I'm not
Okay,
saying
no
which
names, no class.
It's because we can't finish the next unit
I
and
gotcha.
take a test before
Yeah.
spring break. So after spring break, we're gonna have to go through all of Unit 11.
Okay, so anybody who's in your class in doing Unit 11 knows what class you're talking about now. Good job, narc. We already know you're a narc, though. So this isn't new news.
New news.
Okay, so the movie, The Goat, I showed you the stuff. I also asked Oliver if he remembered when I was his mom.
He doesn't.
He tried to pretend like he did,
He
but
doesn't.
he didn't.
I don't even know if he remembers. Give it a few more years, he's not gonna remember when Mom was dead.
Yeah. And you know, I don't know how to feel about that. How do you feel about that? That the little boys don't remember us like you do. It's weird, yeah?
I don't know, cause like on one hand, it's like the feeling of being a normal family and like knowing that and then knowing like comparing it.
Not in this house.
Otherwise, like or like with me and Quinton, like we know what it's like to have a normal family, and then the little boys don't really.
But what's hilarious is that they have a more normal family than y'all did. Mom
Yeah.
and I were dysfunctional as crap.
Mm-hmm.
But how this whole fits in is because, you know, had Joe and his sister Kristen here.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that brought Jackson.
The goat.
And, yeah, the goat and Kylie, the girl. So we had the goat and the girl.
Goat.
The girl. And so we were talking about how she didn't have as much time with her dad as Joe did because there is
18
and
years
20
difference
between them.
Oh.
And so an extreme amount of time. And that Joe feels like he unfairly got more time. And even if Dad didn't die at 60, whatever he was, 11 years ago, I think, even if he didn't die at that age, they still wouldn't have had the same amount of time with him, even if he lived to be 80. You know what I'm saying? Because it's birth order. So you and Quinton still had different parents and still would have had different parents even if we had not transitioned. You know, because each one of you ruined us.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's why Oliver's different from Quinton.
Yeah, but, so I did the Rain Man thing with him. He was doing the dates with me. And he was, like, figuring out how old, like, stuff was. And so I was
Oliver's not good at connecting the dots with math. Like, I love him, but
But
he's
yeah,
not good at math.
Oh, my God.
I
I
can
showed
sit there
that
and
on
look
the
at him, and I'm like, okay, 7 times 5 is 35. Now what's 5 times 7?
Yeah. Yeah, like, and he was doing this weird thing. I mean, like, he does weird things with his fingers when he's figuring.
Yeah, he's like,
But
then
he
he goes
knows dates are his thing, though.
he does
Dates are
this,
his
he does
thing.
this.
I asked him when the house was built, 1860, how many years is it? And he finally got
Dates
to
are not
161.
his thing.
Da-
You should have
just
seen.
knowing.
You should have seen us in the basement with the storm, and then I was like, okay, so there's 2 18s, 2 21s, and 2 16s. You and Mappa are the 2 16s.
That's what we talked about.
And then he was like, I was like, when's Quentin's birthday? And he was like, July. And I was like, nope, that's the wrong month. And then he was like, June. And then I said, yeah,
not
it's in June.
you guys. I'm talking about stuff that's of interest
yeah,
to him.
he was talking to me about
Yeah, he doesn't give a crap
like
about y'all.
1929. What was the significance of 1929?
Who knows?
It wasn't-
Luther King Jr. was born in 1920.
Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr.
Like he is stacking in all these like dates, like how Rain Man did with the court show, Judge Wapner.
Watch, next year he's not going to remember any of them.
Yeah, because y'all did weird crap too. That's my dentures. It makes me do
Your
that.
fake tooth.
My fake teeth. There's 2. Thank you.
It'd be funny if it made you whistle.
One of my friends had her
If I lowered it,
one of my
No,
friends
I go,
like
"Ah,"
chipped her
that's what-
tooth and she had to have it pulled like yours. It was in kind of the same spot. And so I don't know if she got a
does she have a
fake tooth.
flapper? What are
A
they
little
called?
bit. What?
Are they
Flapper.
called flappers? The fake tooth.
Veneer?
No, it's not a veneer. I'm talking about
That's
the.
just
That's
that's
they
pageant.
like
when the
shave down your
pageants.
tooth. Have you
no,
seen
no.
that?
Yes, it's gross. I'm talking
It's
about like
horrible.
whenever the little pageant girls have gangly teeth and they make them put in that thing like the Bubba teeth. How you pretend to have bad teeth and they look like a sports thing. Was it TJ?
It might be. I think so.
We're in here, TJ.
We're recording!
You can come in, TJ. She's almost done. I'm gonna try to con him into coming in. Come in here.
Hey. Hey.
You brought Sonic. Oh, that's weird. I don't like it when you do that.
Hey.
So,
Hey.
Did Alex
Hi.
tell you yet that she got to meet a baby goat?
Yeah, she told me.
What did she say to you about the goat?
It was in a onesie, and it was really cute, and it was wearing
And
something
had
else.
a diaper too.
It did.
I thought
Yes.
those were tater tots. I was like, oh.
Yeah, she was excited for 5 seconds until Yoinked got back.
Cheese
What
sticks
is
are
it?
good too, but
Mango.
tater
Anywho,
tots.
okay, well, you're done. That's all I wanted. I wanted your input on that. So, the goat! Got rid of Alex. So, what do you think about the goat?
The goat was really cute.
It was really adorable, and you stood out there for a long time and watched it frolic and play.
Oh, I did. Because it was a goat that acted like a dog.
I know, it was so great. I love that goat. And, but you know, Widow acts crazy like that, and so does Yuki. I think we need to get a fence so they can get out there and be little goats. Or dogs. Whatever they decide to be, right? They can be trans species if they want. I don't care. I still want to get a giant unicorn seat to put out here, that big giant resin bench. But it's really expensive. I want somebody to handcraft me a giant unicorn laying on the ground and carve a bench out of it. That's what I want to get. But it's like thousands of dollars. And it's not worth that. I had to take my wrap off because the heater's on and it feels really good.
Yeah, it feels good on my feet.
Okay, so overall good experience with the goat.
Yeah.
I like
If
my unicorn.
I
If what?
I thought
Say
about
it.
I thought about it. And I was like, well, it'd be a good pet. But then I was like, no, no. It'd be
Nope.
a good pet, but it's not a good pet for me.
It'd be another vet bill. Unless, see, Kristen, she really needs to go into vet tech or try to be a vet because she wants to go to RN. And I think that she's great with animals. And it might be a welcome change. She could learn something new or even start something new. I'm doing a podcast. What do you want? Oh, it's you. Yeah.
This is really good. It's really good.
What?
I know, the cabbage and potatoes and sausage. I know, she made me potato pancakes out of that cold cannon. It was delicious. Good job, Beth. It was. See? Yeah, now you get to like blush on camera. Are you blushing a little bit?
No, I'm just a good cook.
You are. You're an excellent cook. What was I just talking about? What were we talking about? I don't even know. I could stop the thing and rewind it, but it's not really relevant.
We were talking about the goat and how cute the goat was and acted like a dog. And
Yeah, frolicking.
I said it was a nice pet, but not a good pet for me. And then we were saying something about just past that one.
Yeah,
time.
I don't want to take care of a goat.
I don't either.
I like it when it's somebody else's goat and we can just go play with it. We'll just go visit them and go frolic with the goats.
That sounds like a better idea.
You would love that. We were talking about goat yoga. I would
No.
not do goat yoga. I have this fear of the goat's unmentionables touching anywhere on me. It's like a real fear for me. So,
I just don't see the appeal in that. I mean, I'm sure it works for some people, but
I have children that climb on me. I don't
we
need
had,
goats.
and they pooped and peed on us
Ugh,
too. So
all the
we had a
time.
goat doing it.
All the time. When I used to do push-ups, I had Quinton sit on me. And when you were deployed in, when you first went to Fort Huachuca. And so you were at Fort Huachuca. And he would sit down on me with his little diaper butt. And I was good for a couple minutes, and then it would get warm. Oh, God, just thinking about, it grossed me out so bad. So you would think that I would have learned, right? But I didn't. I would tell him almost every time. And I would get just a couple in and he would pee. I think he thought it was a game. But at least he wore his diaper and peed then, because when I started potty training him, remember, he would just go outside. He would just go outside all the time. Every time he had to pee, he would take his diaper off and go outside. He wouldn't go to the bathroom.
Well, I think that's kind of how we started him at first.
Yeah.
The toilet was scary, but outside was...
Yeah, because I listened to my stupid mom who's like, this is how we trained your brother. But then Dad followed it up with, and when we lived in town, there he would be at the edge of the yard. You know, so it's like, hey, that's true story. It
Hands
happened.
on the back of his hips, pants around his knees.
Yeah, yeah. If you train your kid to be outside, then your kid's probably going to be outside no matter what neighborhood you live in. So be careful if you raise wolves. I apparently did. Quinton was a werewolf for a while.
Yeah, and a vampire.
And no, he wasn't big into the vampire. He was a werewolf. He was borderline vampire, but he gave that up. Werewolves were much, much better. I say that I'm a sparkly vampire sometimes because of the chinchilla dust. It makes me sparkly, like a sparkly vampire. You can see chinchilla dust all over my hat and my glasses.
Y'all can be sparkly vampires if you want. I'm a Jedi.
I wish you were a Jedi. I'm a unicorn.
You just mad because there's no Force on Star Trek.
Wow. Hey, guys. Thank you. A special thanks to you guys, the listeners, for making my day brighter. Rocket Man Regular Joe for the intro. My guests, children, Quinton, Alexandria, Lucas, Oliver, for being honest, thank you. Soul food provided by my Jedi wife, Elizabeth Autumn, and music from purpleplanet.com. How to Kill a Podcast. Talk shit on Star Trek. Thanks, Beth. I'm done. Over to you. Deuces, you. Hey, Joe. You're my favorite kind of asshole. The bald kind. Love you, brother. Sponsored by Sacred Grows Transformational Pathways, Lotions, Potions, and Holistic Notions, Gift Shop, and Life Coaching Center. Visit them now at www.sgpathways.com.